All right, now I'll be going back to the press freedom story, and I'm told we've been able to reconnect with Akintunde Babatunde. Akintunde, if you can hear me, please, can you say something?
I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I was asking that with journalists facing threats in Nigeria, how can secure communication technologies be used to protect investigative reporting and sources?
Right. I think that first to shout out to all journalists and media professionals globally. Happy, what first Press Freedom Day. I think it's important for us to acknowledge the very daring work of everyone who continue to improve the industry. Yeah, technology has evolved as a tool for journalists to do their work, and it has improved the pace of work. It has helped, in helping to collaboratively work together. It has also helped to detect, disinformation, to track, to conduct opinions of intelligence investigations, and all of those. But it has also, ironically, been used as a tool of surveillance. Where the powers that be continue to track journalists, continue to hack into their system. We've seen that manifestation over time. We've also seen evidence where technology has also been used. The use of AI has been used to create deep fakes that further advance the proliferation of content. So but the point right now is that we have more opportunities with us today to think about how journalists could use technology to improve the work that they do. And one of such way would be one, they could leverage technology tools to collaboratively work with other professionals from around the world in order to track environmental crisis. You get to see that the theme of this year is advancing press freedom, and also environmental crisis. So you get to understand that there's that nexus. We also need to, start, journalist training on open source intelligence tools. These are
Mm.
tools that journalists could use to conduct social media analysis, social network analysis, to connect
All right,
together,
Akintunde,
actors.
what about blockchain technology or other decentralized platforms? What role do they play in ensuring the safety and authenticity of sensitive journalistic materials in Nigeria?
Right. So a lot of those tools have been used in investigative reporting. If you look at how a lot of, at the center, for instance, we've built a tool, the Leaks NG tool, where journalists could potentially get access. Sorry, citizens could send, anonymous leaks, and whistleblow on the platform. It's been secured through technology. So we've leveraged. So there are existing technology that journalists could leverage, but the challenges is access to these tools, and how much journalists are able to afford it. So I think that it's not much more about the availability of the tools, but much more about the accessibility of them to Nigerian journalists. I think globally that has improved. The Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, those were high level technology where journalists could conduct investigations without being, without such information being leaked. But
All
in
right,
Nigeria, we still at the
talking
point.
about technology being accessible to Nigerians. What about digital forensic tools? Are they accessible to Nigerian journalists, and can they be used by them to verify information and combat disinformation campaigns? How can they be used?
Yes, so we have those tools that have been, some of those tools have been developed. We just developed a digital tool at the center, for instance, where journalists could automatically track disinformation in audio formats. And it's free and accessible to journalists in Nigeria and in Africa to use. We have some other tools that journalists could use to track, press attack. The Center for Journalism Innovation and Development, we developed that called the Press Attack Tracker. So those are free and accessible for journalists to use. But what I was trying to make centrally is that while some of those institutions who continue to build the tools have them, free for all, the fact that it has not been decentralized for every, in terms of how many journalists know that these tools exist, how do we continue to even train journalists in the use of these tools? I think that's the point I was trying to make, that it's more than ever, the tools are there, we continue to build more tools, but more than ever, it's important for us to ensure that journalists are trained in the use of these tools. We have open source intelligence tools. We've conducted some trainings on digital skills for journalists to even in rural areas. But it's much more about we train them, we support them with the resources, and then to ensure that the application of these tools becomes an intentional approach from journalists. And we do that more by getting newsroom managers to also key into a lot of the digital initiatives that we have available for journalists. The CGID has been doing it. We have a lot of other institutions that continue to do and continue to build tools. We have there are global tools. There is Nubia AI that has been created for journalists to use, upload a data. They upload data on the platform, and it automatically turns the stories. The data to stories. And that makes journalism very easy. That makes the job very easy and impressive to do. So so we have chatbot that the Dubawa created. The journalists could just check throughout the day, with summary or fact check articles. So I think that we have those tools available. It's just a call to action now for journalists to just get on the research, put on their research lens and see how much this use can be used to improve their work.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Akintunde Babatunde, for speaking to us on this.
Appreciate it.